All right, Richard, what have we got here?
All right, Vince, we're at the start of the plating process. So if you look here, these copper bars, they fulfill two roles. Firstly, it's how we pick everything up.
Right.
It also conducts the electricity through the copper bars down onto the workpieces. And what you're looking at down here are actually diaphragms, and they're going to be copper plated. So everything we plate has to have an electrical contact and has to be secure, so we don't lose it in the tanks.
Right.
And also it's got to be easy to pick up. So first stage that you're looking at is cleaning operation, and it's a multi-stage cleaner. So
it gets dipped into here, out into here,
and then this one is an electric clean, and that cleans microscopically. So you have to have absolutely pure clean surface.
Right.
Then we go through a series of rinses.
Rinse here, rinse there.
This is another activation stage to make sure the metal is highly active, there's no oxidation at all on it. And then we go from there.
So really this is the production line for...
It's a production line.
For chroming?
Yes, it is.
More
so
rinses?
we actually skip a couple of stages here.
What are these? This is just fresh water, is it? Oh no, that says acid.
These are cleaning, yes, just cleaning stages, fresh water. Now, this is if we were going to copper plate, then we'd go into this acid copper. And that's where we build up a layer of copper to go and polish it.
So this is acid copper?
Well, it's a type of copper.
Right.
Now if we're once we've done the copper plating and it's been repolished, then we would go into the semi-bright nickel. Now the colour of the solution bears no resemblance to the final product.
Right.
Nickel is a fabulous undercoat because it's got a lot of corrosion resistance properties, and it also imparts the brightness to the surface. It does all the work really. The chrome is just the decorative layer on the top,
right,
albeit it's very, very hard. So this first stage is a semi-bright nickel. So a bumper bar would spend about an hour there, and then we go into a bright nickel, which are these 4 tanks here. And the bright nickel is just that, it gives a bright appearance over the top.
Right.
So it spends about half an hour there. Then we go rinse. Then we go through a series of rinses until we get to the chrome.
Is this the chrome?
This is the chrome tank. As I say, the colour of the solution doesn't bear any resemblance. And that's actually, chrome then has to be neutralised, so we go through a series of stages to neutralise, and then it gets a multi-stage rinse. Now we do use a heck of a lot of water in rinsing.
Right.
By doing counterflow rinsing, we recycle a lot of our water, and then we clean it up in our treatment tank there, which is quite a process, and that turns it from being we can basically almost drink the water that we send down the sewer. Okay.
Now
I'll just say,
excuse me, Richard, how do you top up these different tanks with the different fluids as they're being absorbed into the metals?
Okay, some of the tanks have what's called metal anodes, and if we come back to the nickel,
right,
these these are the anodes, and there's nickel metal in that, and that dissolves into the solution and progressively deposits onto the workpieces.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
But we also, in some of the other solutions, you actually replenish it by adding in metal salts.
Right.
Metal chlorides, metal sulfides.
So, what have we got happening here, Richard?
So these parts have been nickel plated, so they're coming down to be chrome. So we'll just have a look at how that works. So it goes into a dilute chrome solution first, and that keeps gives it an initial sort of acidic surface, and then it goes into the chrome plating tank. This is to ensure good contact, and then the current is applied, and what happens is it's very high voltage, very high amperage with very low voltage. So it's only 6 volts.
Right.
But at the moment that's pulling about 500 amps, but we can go up to 4,000 amps.
And you can see the reaction here, can't you?
Yeah, what's happening there is that there's hydrogen being given off at on the surface, and that's why it's gassing, if you like.
Yeah.
That shows that everything's working. And these components that have just gone in, they're actually for line marking machines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned before, so they'll sit in there for about half an hour?
No, chrome's very quick. This will only be
I beg your
minutes.
pardon, right,
Yeah.
okay. Right.
So, yeah, they'll come out, in a couple of minutes.
Oh, I see. Now, I need a bit of a top-up of chrome on Delilah. Can I get a bit of a takeaway, some of this solution here?
No,
Put that cup for me?
No, it's highly acidic. Yeah, so no, don't take any away.
Sure. So how do the guys know, what items got to go where and which one's got to go?
Oh, okay, well the flight bars are marked, so we identify it and we apply it with a code, and that's got a little mark on it saying that it's chrome.
Okay. So, and do you put the wheels in here, in these vats?
Not in this one. The wheels go down this far line.
Oh, okay. So they've got different size vats, have they, to take larger items?
That's specifically designed to plate wheels.
Right,
And that involves quite a bit of very specialised tooling.
Right.
The plating of the wheels is very specialised because, particularly truck wheels, they've got a very deep profile. We spend a lot of time getting the thicknesses right so that we can offer this 7-year warranty.
Wow.
In fact,
that's a massive warranty when you consider the harsh wear that trucks are hitting.
Well, when the story here is that the people that were on this site before had worked out how to chrome plate steel wheels, and that was quite clever.
Yeah.
And the fact that my old business, when we were at Roselle, we were doing a lot of aluminium plating, so we decided that we could, we'd give chrome plating alloy truck wheels a go.
Right.
And the first few were about 95% right, and then it took us about 3 or 4 years to get the other 5% right, so we could offer the 7-year warranty.
And what's the advantage for a trucking company to have chrome wheels?
Well, firstly, it's the appearance, that they're very, very pristine.
Yeah.
But the real benefit is that they stay that way, whereas the normal alloy deteriorates, it oxidises.
Right.
The truck drivers have got a choice. They can either let it oxidise and look pretty tatty, or they can spend their weekends polishing their wheels.
Yeah.
There are some finishes now where they put like a lacquer on them, but in Australian conditions particularly, that just doesn't last. So. Okay, so there's now got a chrome surface on it, even though the colour doesn't look like that.
Right.
And then it'll just go through these rinses and it'll come out.
Okay. What's the first one? Is that?
Well, that's just a what we call a drag out or a dilute chromic acid.
Right.
So that takes most of the chrome metal off. We've got to make sure we drain them properly. It goes into a neutralising solution. That basically changes any residual chrome from chrome 6 to chrome 3.
Oh, now we're talking.
It's actually chrome. And then there's
right before your very eyes.
A multi-stage rinsing.
So this is the neutralising solution.
Yep.
And this is the just cold water rinse.
Yep.
Looking very chromy now.
Another rinse.
So what's the difference between the two rinses?
It's what's called a counterflow rinse. So this is the first stage, which will be more contaminated, and then the second one is clean, and the third one is a hot water rinse.
Oh, you've got a hot water rinse at the end.
Yep.
But again, the process is reasonably quick. You only need a few, up to a minute in each of the baths.
This part of it is quick. The slow stage is getting the
Preparation.
well, the preparation is reasonably time consuming, but the real thing is getting the building up a layer of nickel,
Right.
which is where it spends the hour and a half.
So this is just the drying stage. Is this complete now?
This is complete. These will just be unwired or unracked.
And what about quality control? Would you have someone look at it and examine it and see whether it's...
Yep. Well, it's important to look at the quality as it comes through the line. Make sure when it comes out of the nickel, it's ready for chroming.
Yeah.
And then at this stage,
Yeah, you can clearly
once
see your
it's-
reflection in it.
Yeah, once it's unwired, it's the guys clean it and check it and wrap it and get ready to send it
There
off
they
to the
go.
customer. Yeah.
Well, look, Richard, thank you so much for your time, buddy. I really appreciate you showing me around, giving our members a bit of an insight as to what happens to their parts when they come down for chroming.
That's a pleasure.
And you've been very kind in the past too. I think we've had two very good and informative tech days over the years, and perhaps next year or the year after we can come back and have a real live look. So yeah, appreciate your time. Thanks, Richard.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Vince.
Thank you.